Wow, thank you.
Don't you love it?
Yeah, I do.
That's so cool.
Cool.
Come on over. So what are we doing this time?
I thought that something like this.
Yeah, nice and retro. Cool. And a bit of the backstory, because even though now your hair's short, but it wasn't before.
Yeah.
Because your hair was long, and we cut it.
I
but the
used to
problem
wear
is-
it to my head,
Yeah, I
then
know,
I went to
know.
the shoulder, then
No,
you
I know.
just.
And then when
went
you and
crazy.
I, when we cut it, the problem is we drank. And
Oh,
we
I
didn't
know.
do the proper shots after. So let's consider this. We do have the before pictures
Yeah.
from then.
Yeah.
But we never did a proper follow-up. Now here's grown in a bit. So we're doing another haircut basically, and we'll do proper follow-up shots this
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
okay.
So the people, you can imagine her hair was long, but we,
Yeah.
you know, it's just, that's what happens when we start having a little too much fun.
Absolutely.
Cool. So we'll do a little bit retro. Like,
Have some product on it.
that's fine, we're gonna wash it. But I'm doing this stuff because, you know what? People have never experienced it before.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly, that's why we do it.
Yeah.
We're doing it retro, like it's, yeah, that's early 80s as well.
Yeah.
And we're doing this sort of stuff because you've never experienced it. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I don't care. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna give you this one as well. It's all the retro. Same with the chair, retro. Capes, retro. Look and feel.
Traveling in time.
Okay.
We're time traveling.
Time traveling, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll do a modern style after. Maybe. Maybe we'll just keep you retro. Cool, I'll be second. Oh, it's in there too. And come on over, we can wash it.
Yeah, because I think that what happens with my hair is that it's so straight and like
Yeah.
lifeless sometimes that
Yeah.
having it drier just helps it.
Come on over.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a consideration for you, but
I can try. Go.
yeah, it's going a lot since because we did it super short.
We did super short the first time,
First,
but then
yeah.
I came in again and we let the top a little
Yeah.
longer,
Yeah.
and that was like January.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll go short again. Not super short, but that's short.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna pop you off. I wonder if that should go higher. That's fine. The building's quiet. It was so noisy earlier. We're trying to film and there's like all the audio
Mm.
contamination. But now it's evening. The sun's setting. The vampires are coming out. I don't have any vampire customers, unfortunately, but that'd be fun.
Vampire customers.
Vampire customers, you know, the sun goes down and they come out and they need a haircut. The problem with being a vampire, here's the problem with being a vampire, is
Okay.
the way that you were when you were turned to vampire is how you remain for all eternity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, for example, let's say you were turned vampire, let's say in Victorian era.
Yeah.
So you got this long, beautiful hair, right?
You can't even change your look.
No, you can,
Yeah.
but when you go into your slumber state, you're reinstated.
Ah.
So let's say you had that long, beautiful Victorian era hair. So it became the 1920s and everyone had a bob. So you get up, the sun sets, you get up, you have to bob your hair. And then you go out for the night, you dance, and it's nice. But
Those
then
would
you-
be the perfect
Yeah,
customers.
but then the sun rises and you go to reinstate, you come back reinstated. So you wake up again this. So the curse of the vampire in the 1920s is every time you woke up you had to be bobbed again. You're like, oh damn it, slip, 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 slip. So you go
Those
out
would
for
be
the night.
perfect customers.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
So if I had, you know, my girlfriend was a vampire in the 1920s, and that'd be pretty cool. You ready for your haircut? Yeah, every day. Snip, snip, snip. Which bob did you want today? Because you can do a different bob every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds a match made in heaven.
Yeah. I think I'd like a vampire girlfriend. Have you been to any of the, what's the festival called? Fringe Festival.
Fringe.
Yeah, Fringe Festival.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, it's a festival going on in Wellington. I went to one last night, a comedy thing last night. It was funny. Can't remember the name of it. I should be saying these things because you know you're plugging them. It was funny.
Or
Whatever
what's
that was.
the
So
Fringe
funny.
Festival?
Fringe Festival. It's like an arts festival.
Mm.
So different theatre productions around Wellington,
Yeah.
different venues. It's good.
Oh man, I'm
Yeah.
definitely into
Yeah, I
that.
did the comedy one last night.
Where were they? In what venue?
All around town, multiple venues. Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
I would definitely love to see some theater.
Yeah. The one I went to was a sold out thing. It's been sold out. So a friend got me a ticket.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that this thing was going on. You know, what if the theater was a city with all these like interventions and stuff going on supposedly all around the city, but really I just didn't see much going on.
Yeah. Yeah, if you ever need a career change, I could see you doing grunt work on a film set in Canada.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Different world. Your first film set's a bit intimidating because your lack of experience can be scary because you don't understand the hierarchy and things like that. And,
Oh, yeah.
and they're people lose their shit on you. You know, it's not fair, but it's true on film sets. They lose it on you. The first week's the hardest, and then it starts to settle in. And they also, a lot of times, they overhire and they fire.
Yeah,
And then
construction
and-
that sounds a lot like how construction works
Yeah,
too.
exactly. They overhire, then they fire, and they end up with the team they want.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
the same thing, you don't understand who's who, like who's your boss, who's just a carpenter on site, who you should respond to.
Yeah.
You know.
I've never ever had an issue on a film set, but but hair and makeup people are talents, and they tend to be good to the talents. But then in other areas they tend to be not so nice. Especially the extras get it the hardest. They can, not always, but they can.
Yeah.
Every production is different. Depends on the assistant directors and how it's being done. I've never had a nightmare set either.
That's fine.
Yeah, I've had good experiences. But also I've been picky about the projects I'd work on. So like if it was for example, Wellington is shooting Avatar, I wouldn't work on Avatar. Because James Cameron's not a fun guy to work with. So that would be a no from me.
Yeah. Have you worked on any film sets in
Not in New Zealand, in Canada,
no?
in Toronto.
Canada.
Yeah. When I moved to New Zealand, I decided I didn't want to because the opportunities here are limited for Kiwis, and here's a guy from Canada coming in and taking these film set jobs when a Kiwi should have that. I've already had my experience in Canada, so this is why right now I'm doing a lot of this retro stuff. Partly because I love doing that on film sets, like you're creating a character for a film, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm not going to work on a film anymore, at least I can do it on my terms, right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of creating these things just because it's what I'd like to do in the past anyway. And films can be like, this film's in 1975, or this one, another one I filmed was in the 1930s. Like, you're creating these looks, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm not able to, if I decide I'm not going to run films anymore, I'm going to recreate things I want to be doing to make myself,
Yeah, with the freedom, there's no script, no director, no nothing.
Exactly. Just inspiration, and let's do it.
Yeah.
And there's these projects that we're, there's no rules to it either.
Yeah.
It's just let's do these things. And I like late 70s, I like early 80s, but we've done 1920s and stuff as well. So I'll branch it out further as we go with this project, but for now, because lately a lot of that retro people love these dates are late 70s, early 80s. And I actually like that era a lot as well. I should be having music going, but the problem is the copyright stuff, right? Like it'd be cool if like now we were listening to like music from the era of the look we're doing as I'm doing this, but then there's the copyrights issues. So anyhow, people at home can just put a record on or something while they're watching these videos. Whatever.
Yeah. What about the 50s or the 60s?
Yeah, we'll explore that as well as we go. Like the original one, like you look at the post on the back wall, the girl with the bob, that was our first photo shoot in the salon. That's like 65, 64, 65. Mm-hmm. So we have done 60s. We'll go back to it too as well. But I thought when we first opened this place, Blow Up, because it's based, Blow Up is a film from the 60s, right? Mm-hmm. I thought we'd be far more 60s themed.
Yeah.
But we didn't end up being, because what ended up happening is a lot of the popular retro stuff ends up being 70s and 80s these days. And I just find I like it too. So, but we'll go back and revisit all that again. And the 60s is so fascinating because of the different eras. Like early 60s was still really conservative. And then mid 60s, the fashion started to come out. And then towards 67, then they discovered acid. Got into the psychedelic. And then 69 is like Woodstock, and then the hair got long and the hippies, right? So you have these different eras. So like, let's do 60s of like, what year? Because 63 was like big hair, and it was still conservative. 64, 65, the fashions were changing so quickly. 66, 67, psychedelic. 68, 69, hippies, flower kids, flower children. And then once you got into 70s, early 70s, it rapidly changed again. Things were rapidly changing back then. So you need to be really specific about the sort of look you want to do, and especially if you're going for authenticity.
Yeah.
You know, someone says, "Oh, we're going to do like a 60s." Yeah. Like.
Which one?
Which one? I don't know, maybe, like those hippies. Alright. That's late 60s.
And that means nothing, just letting it grow.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like early 60s, people mistake that for 50s because, some of it was carrying over, but there's a difference between 50s and early 60s, but people would think early 60s was 50s because it really, like modern people looking back in the 60s will look at psychedelic and hippies.
Yeah.
But they forget the mid 60s fashion in the early 60s. It's, that's 62, and like, oh, is it? And 70s is fascinating as you go through as well. Because you get into the classic rock, but you also get into disco. And also, it was the birth of like hip hop music was 73, which was urban street, and it wasn't commercialized yet. So, you have different things converged over time. Like 73, it was really like, it wasn't in the recording studio yet. They didn't get a recording studio until the early 80s. But those are urban movements.
Do you think that for men there's also that much of a change in style as long as hair goes during those eras?
Oh yeah. Both men and female. Mm-hmm. We were watching like Leonard Skinner at Freebird yesterday, a concert from '77, and the guys had longer hair than girls. Girls were like shoulder length with layers, and some of these guys were like just this long stuff. But all those haircuts on those girls, you watch that video of the girls in the audience, they all had amazing haircuts. They were cool.
Yeah.
So today, those haircuts work so well. So as a laugh, like you can put that video on with someone like, "What do you want to do with my hair?" Just put that video on, and all those girls in the audience like, "Pick one," and like, "Oh, I like that one." I'm like, "Yeah, it's awesome," and that song is so cool too.
Pick a haircut and a song to go with it.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go that way with yours.
Okay.
Starting to frame better, but obviously for the start we're gonna move it up and make it crazy.
Nice.
But just working on the texture at the moment. His haircut's got a lot of texture to it, which is fun.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm wondering how you're gonna do that.
Yeah, just cut into it with the scissors. some of these retro haircuts I've been doing the old school, like hold it up and go snip, snip. Because that's what the time was. That was the era was. It's not about me showing off. Look how I can cut hair. I'm trying to get authentic with the approaches, right? So I'm going to break the way I normally do. Like a paying customer, I wouldn't do this stuff with. I'm just doing these things because it's what I want to be doing.
Yeah, it's on your
It
own
inspires
time.
me. In a post-COVID world.
Yeah, man.
I'm bringing retro back. Yeah! Even that song's retro. That song's from decades ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we could do that. That's a retro era too.
How can Justin Timberlake be retro?
Yeah, exactly.
But he's...
I'm bringing retro back. Yeah! And now we'll have to do some 90s as well. Like that's the era of the supermodel. And really cool haircuts. Like Linda Evangelista haircuts. How fun were those in the 90s, if you know what that is? The Italian girl that
No.
moved. She was Italian, but she was born in St. Catharines, Ontario. Italian family in Canada. Since you're going to move to Canada, you have to learn about this stuff. But she was literally like one of the greatest supermodels through the 90s. Italian girl, Linda Evangelista, obviously she's Italian.
Yeah.
But she's born in Canada, in St.
When you
Catharines.
say like Italian supermodel in the 90s, all I think, I don't know who she is, but all I think is just like thick, dark hair with a fringe, like I don't know.
Yeah.
That was her look at all, but...
No, but she has really cool short haircuts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's very outside the box.
Yeah. I don't
She
really...
sometimes had shoulder length, but then you get these really cool short haircuts or little bobs or whatever.
Yeah, when I
Oh,
think
she's
90s, I don't think short hair.
Yeah. Yeah. She was international. People didn't know. They made a connection with her being Canadian. And St. Catharines is a town near where Niagara Falls is, working class area. So, you know, her parents were Italian immigrants, or the Italian community that moved to that area. And a lot of them, there was a Massey Ferguson plant which makes farming equipment. A lot of them were employed there. Or if you weren't employed there, you had a deli or something, you know, in the Italian community to support the ones who were working in those, the industrial area. There was more than just Massey Ferguson, there was a lot of industry in the area. And, you know, back then. So Linda Evangelista was born and raised in that area. But one of the salons I used to work in back in Toronto, the owner was from that. She's Italian as well. And so she grew up in the same area. So her mom knew Linda Evangelista. Their moms knew each other.
Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, Linda Evangelista's mom, she died a long time ago from a breast cancer thing. So that's sad, but part of her history as well. I mean, I think that happened decades ago too. She died early. But no, you know, look her up. She's really cool. Inspiration. Kate Moss was the other one around that time too, and maybe people remember her more.
Yeah.
There's others as well in that time, but I had a preference over Linda over Kate. But I also really like Kate Moss too. You know, I wouldn't say that one's better than the other. They're different. But of course, because I'm from Ontario, or Canada, you know, back and forth between a few places in Canada. But yeah, Linda's the Italian Canadian. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, do you know that Canada was such an immigrant country?
Oh yeah.
It has a big immigrant population. It's such a big country.
You look how quickly it grows.
Yeah.
I haven't checked the statistics for a little while, but leading up to COVID, it was growing by 340,000 people a year.
Yeah.
So that means the national population grows by 1 million people every 3 years. So if you think about that, you look at the size of New Zealand, it's 5 million people.
Yeah,
total.
absolutely.
But you look at Toronto, like I was born in the suburb of Toronto in 71, and Toronto then was just hitting 2 million. But today, it's the greater Toronto area, because they're including the suburbs and all the rest of it. That's up to 6 million people now. So you're 2 million to 6 million people as it's grown exponentially, and those suburbs have grown like crazy. They're not all born there. I think it's safe to say 49% of the city of Toronto was born in another country. And then there's the ones like me who were born there. And where am I living? In New Zealand. Because a lot who are born there don't end up staying in Toronto.
Yeah.
So you have all the ones who are moving to Toronto from around the world. You have the ones who are born there, but I'm not there for the rest of my life, right?
But you still say Toronto very much.
Yeah,
like
I say Toronto like that.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Like
But
a
also-
person from Toronto.
But also you have people from other places in Canada that moved to Toronto.
Yeah.
But Toronto's very transient. Like ones who are born there go, or some stay. Ones who are, I would say, the ones who are traditionally from Toronto back then are way out in the suburb now. Like they're not even living in the city anymore. Just they're raising their families outside of the city. Maybe some are, you know, in the city still. But oh me, I love downtown Toronto to live, or just get the hell out of Toronto. I wasn't going to do suburbia Toronto.
Suburbia.
No. I ended up in suburbia Wellington instead. I live in Whitby, like a suburb of Wellington now.
Yeah.
And I think, and I've said this 20 years ago, someone says, oh, you're going to have this place called Wellington, New Zealand. Like, what the hell is Wellington? That's the capital of New Zealand. I thought Auckland was the capital of New Zealand.
Yeah, everyone does.
You know, and the house in Whitby and this and all of it, and like 2 daughters and things. I would have thought that was the craziest. Like someone told me that's where you're going to end up. I would have thought that was the craziest story ever. Like I wouldn't. No. No way. No way. Nah, but I love it. I don't regret it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and you made like the best of both worlds, you know, some suburbia and some, you know, just in the city doing your thing,
Yeah.
enjoying the vibe of the people going in and out.
Yeah, well. What's it like living in Whitby? It's kind of like it's kind of like being in the FBI relocation program. You wake up in the morning, you look around, and you think, "How the hell did I end up here?" It's suburb, you're in the suburb, like from downtown Toronto, and then you're in this suburb called Whitby, and you say, "It's great. Don't get me wrong, I love it." But from where I come from, and to wake up in the morning, you're like, "How did this happen?" It's a reminder you should never rat out your friends. You could end up in a place like that. No, but I'm there by choice. I love it. I do love it. But I'll make jokes like that. Of course I'll make jokes like that. Especially my background. Like, how did I end up there? But I don't trade it for anything. It's really... if I didn't have my daughters, I'd be living in Wellington CBD still.
Yeah.
But because of my daughters, we're in the suburbs with the schools. And that school is beautiful. My daughter's school, like I remember my public school in Toronto, you know, it was buildings around the area and stuff like that. It was okay. But I stand in my daughter's schoolyard and I see the hill over here, the trees over there, the river down there. And they have the classrooms, but they don't have hallways. Like we're Canada, so we have hallways. You go inside a school, it's heated, right? Yeah. But the climate here, you're standing in a courtyard and there's classes all the way around the courtyard. And even like when they hang their jackets and their bags, that's outside.
That's nice.
Yeah. Like I'm like, you wouldn't do that in Canada because it's snow blowing everywhere. But no, their bags and everything are kept outside the classroom. You know, and they go into the classroom. And they're not in lockers or anything. It's the little cubbies that are outside. And, you know, it doesn't rain on it, but, you know.
Yeah.
I look at this stuff. I'm like, to me, like when I look where I went to school and this is like a fairy tale, like compared to what I love what I went to.
But just
Scarborough. Anyone, you know, watch, what was I? Finch and Birchmount, Timberbank Public School.
Being able to see like the hills from your classroom window is just insane.
I got a picture I'll show you later, which shows my school picture, my first year school outside, and you see the apartment towers in the background and stuff like that. It's a city, right? And that was in the 70s when I went there. Or, you know, because of my age.
Because of my age. So it's like that condition that you have.
That condition. You know, that condition called age. Due to your condition. Yeah, now I'm an old dude with a baby.
2-year-old.
I got a 2-year-old. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
This is fun, eh?
Yeah, it feels so nice also.
This is really rapture.
I feel like I could just fall asleep in the chair.
Yeah. Funny too, I'm making these videos and I got the beard and the hat. But the beard is because the COVID year, right? Even though we didn't have COVID in Wellington, like we were restricted. But it was, you know, they go, wear a mask. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll put a mask on. And the Ford hat. I've never driven a Ford in my life. I've never driven a Ford. But I'm in the warehouse and I'm like, I needed a hat because kids wanted to go mini golf. So like, I'll go run the warehouse and grab a hat. So I see the Ford hat. Last one, I'm like, oh my God, that goes with the beard. So I bought it. And now, you know, last one as well. But my grandfather was a farmer, so of course he only ever drove Ford. So I'm like, oh yeah, Reminds me of my grandfather.
Yeah,
Rest in
I want to
peace.
look as hillbilly
Yeah.
as I can.
Yeah. So I go to the bar. You got the beard and the Ford hat.
Yeah.
This guy, he's wearing a Mopar hat. He's like, "Oh, you Ford guys." I look at him like, "You think I own a Ford?"
How'd you
I
go?
drive Hondas. I live in a suburb in Whitby with my kids. I have a Honda Jazz with car seats in the back.
How'd you show
This
up?
is just because I thought it was funny, and also because my grandpa. But so he said my grandpa the farmer, but he went, "Oh no, respect, yeah." He did. He actually did that. Respect. No, he's a cool guy. He's an American guy too.
You have to show up like that with
Yeah.
like the
This guy-
beard and the Ford and go
Yeah.
and be like,
No.
"Can I have a martini, please?"
Yeah. No, he was from Illinois. He was an American guy, but he went all like, "Oh, you Ford guys on me," and I just laughed. I'm like, "This is New Zealand. We're not rivals in this country."
Yeah, what's up
You know?
with you?
Yeah, and I will admit it's funny because you make fun of people because they'll wear like a Guns N' Roses T-shirt, but they never heard them in their life. They just saw it like, "Oh, look at me, I'm all cool now." Like I'm wearing a Ford hat because I think it's funny, but I never drive a Ford. Anyway. But I did work in an engine factory that made Fords. They
Okay.
made the engine. They made the
You could have an original.
4.6, 5.4 modular engines. So I have a history with that.
That could be an original hat from.
Oh
when you
yeah.
worked there.
So I earned the right to wear this after working on those engines for all those years. So don't get me wrong. Not really a poser. Because before I was a hairdresser, I was a manufacturing engineer. And one of my jobs was in an engine factory, a large production, which was a Cummins engine factory. And they used to make engines for other companies under contract. And the guy wearing the Mopar hat, that's part of like the Cummins Chrysler family. Cummins makes diesel engines for Chrysler, which is his Mopar guy. But they also made Ford engines as well. So, there's a connection to all this. He's all rivalry, like, "Oh, you Ford." He's a Mopar, he's a Dodge truck driver. which is fine, I mean, I know. But yeah, rivalry's like GMC truck drivers, Ford truck drivers, and Chrysler or Dodge. I mean, rival. From drinking.
Yeah.
I know. It's just, well, wait till you, because you got your partner from Alberta.
Yeah.
Everything
Oh
I'm
my
saying,
God,
he
oh
would
my
tell
God,
you. I know.
yeah.
He would
Every
tell
time we
you.
run into like some truck on the road, he looks at it and goes like, "That's Alberta."
Yeah. And they'll do things like they'll see a Dodge truck and like, "Oh, watch those ball bearings fly out of them. Oh, okay, we're gonna get hurt by those ball bearings." Like they'll make jokes like that. Like part of the rivals are Ford with it.
And with like these stupid like bumper stickers.
Yeah, Gone on Road Dead or whatever.
Racist bumper stickers. Yeah.
Yeah, shotgun rack in the back window. Yep. No, if you're gonna, you said you weren't gonna move to Alberta, but if you ever, you got to visit his family. That'd be trucking country there. Now everything's going EV. I don't know what an EV Ford what would they call it? The F-150. So it would be the FEV. I don't know. The FEV. I don't know what they would. Hasn't come up yet. It'll come. Everything's going EV.
I don't know what that means.
Electric vehicle.
Ah, okay.
Brrr, little golf carts.
No,
Everyone's gonna be driving
can you
golf
imagine
carts.
Ford doing that?
Oh, Ford's already done it. They're all doing it now. Because governments are going to regulate. Like you can't. They're going to.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alberta farmers are gonna go crazy.
I don't know. But you know what they do? They just hoard the old vehicles,
Yeah.
the old classics. They hoard them in the barn. Hide them from the government. But remember in Rome, they banned like Vespas and Lambrettas. The old scooters from the 60s are classic. But they're two-stroke. So they pollute the air. So they end up banning them. Eventually they end up banning them. How can you ban a Lambretta
Yeah.
in Rome? It's
come
like
on.
Roman holiday.
It's a stereotype.
such
We
a
need those
stereotype. But they
stereotypes.
banned them eventually, yeah. So don't be surprised. Like right now, it's all about reducing the sales of the and then going to the
I mean,
EV.
there's
But then 50 years down the road, they're like, just ban it.
Yeah.
Outright ban it.
But there's
So-
new models that imitate the style. Like
They
I
do.
used to have a
No, they do. Yeah. You can buy.
little Honda that looked very much like a Lambretta.
Ford Mustang does have an EV vehicle, like an electric vehicle. But Ford's traditionally a muscle car. But they have made an EV Mustang, so yeah, they do. I don't know if I'd enjoy driving an EV Mustang.
Nah, what's the point?
I'd rather for that kind of money, I'd just get the proper Tesla.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
instead of Ford trying to do their version of what Tesla's done. I don't know. Having worked with Ford in the past, I know what they're like. Not interested. If anyone survives a Ford audit, they know what I'm talking about.
I'm so curious on how you're gonna get it to
Oh.
move like that. You know, it's just
Oh,
so...
you want to know how? Oh. This is like the other character in these movies. Oh. We're going to get the hardcore one for you.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. This is the other character of these movies.
This is just
This
looking
character's name is Moose.
nice.
And this one here has been discontinued.
Oh,
But I have a
shit.
horde just for these videos. This one's near the end. I have another one. Hopefully, well, this will be the. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
There's they still continue with another moose. This is the extra strong one. But I don't think many people are buying extra strong moose anymore. Just me. I'm like the only buyer in all of New Zealand. Like, oh, that's been discontinued. Like, yeah, of course it has. So they have the not so strong one, but this one is old school strong. I love
There
it.
it goes.
So because your hair's shorter, we use the stronger. You can see already.
Ah, there you go. So
Yeah.
now you can do anything.
And then you blow dry it into that shade with the
fun.
little brushes. Yeah, that's how we do it. Yeah, mousse and hairspray. That was what constant back then.
I don't own any hair products aside from shampoo.
But your lifestyle, you don't need it.
Yeah.
This is the
like
stuff
the
to
things
treat
that you
you-
would need
Yeah.
in the 80s is insane.
Yeah, yeah. But when you don't have smartphones, what else do you do with your time?
Oh, that sounds like time spent a lot
Yeah.
nicer.
Absolutely, it's connected. With smartphone and the modern technologies, the more frumpier society has become.
Yeah, we're just so lame now. You know, we
Sure.
all spend our time doing the same shit, just like scrolling,
It's true.
scrolling, scrolling.
It's true.
Oh, nice.
And we got the wee twirler,
Okay.
little twirler. same as people watching, like,
Yeah, like I don't know how people came up with this.
oh, that was so common.
Like I wouldn't do it by accident. you
No,
know,
no.
you need to
Everyone
work
walking
with
out of
it.
a hair salon in a mall back in the 80s this is how they did their hair.
Oh man, it's layers and layers of styling.
Yeah, section by section.
Yeah. Oh
Puffing
my
and
God.
puffing. And it's just fun to recreate this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're like, I look like my mom. And then you're like, well, your mom should be your biggest superhero ever, your biggest role model ever. If you look like your biggest role model ever, how's that a bad thing? It's like, I'm not really sure. No, but some people love it. Like, I look like my mom, this is so great. They're like, I look like my mom, this is not good. Some of them love, they love it. You recreate. Or the other one was like, whatever hair your mom had when she was your age, bring a picture, that's what we'll do. They're like, and don't tell your mom. And then you Facebook her or Zoom her after. You're like, look, mom. Oh! The best was one girl years ago, we did a marketing campaign. She wanted to cut her hair and perm it because that was, and she's only 19, she had long hair. So it was for a marketing campaign anyway. But she wanted her mom's wedding hair, which was like permed here, right?
Yeah.
So she didn't tell her mom. She came in that morning and we cut it, we permed it, but she went home and went, Mom! Even funnier, so she goes upstairs and she puts her mom's wedding dress on. She goes,
that's so
Mom, come
cute.
here! Her mom walks, she goes, don't let your father see you like that!
Oh my God, so sinister.
Oh, it's so funny. It's true. Sorry, her dad comes over and he's like, oh, that looks really good on you. He's not cluing in, no, he's the
No,
dad,
yeah,
right? He's
yeah.
like, oh, that looks really good on you. That's, it's just a dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He likes it, but he's not making the connection. Mom's like, whatever. So funny. Oh, Mom loved it. She rocked it. There's pictures of that one on the blow up webpage. The perm. One of the old advertising campaigns we did in the Capital magazine. We're gonna end up with a curling iron in this because your hair is a little bit stubborn.
There came the fringe.
Yep. I'm bringing fringes back. Yep. Something there. A little bit technical difficult. Even our like seniors and older clientele base don't do stuff with their hair anymore like this. They're not conservative like the generation before. They want like asymmetrical, longer fringes and a little bit of violet in there. And you know what, the current seniors are the new customers for tattoos. They're open to it. Yeah, they're not the generation past. So this kind of hairstyling isn't even, the seniors don't even want, you know, it's novelty. I do it because it's novelty. It's fun. But it's not, it's all the more reason to explore this kind of stuff these days. Because even our seniors, we have a few seniors in here, they're so cool, urban, funky, and some of them are tattooed. They weren't tattooed from 20 years ago. They're like, oh, I'm gonna get a tattoo. And sure. Okay. I'm gonna pierce this. And the best thing about when seniors tattoo, you know that old saying like, well, it's not gonna look good when you get older. Well, good. It's a fresh tattoo and you're old. Yeah. And maybe, you know, let's say you're 68 and you're getting a tattoo. Maybe you die at 78. The tattoo only got to be 10 years old. Look, it still looks good in 10 years. Yes, even seniors are different now. So this sort of stuff. If I get this on one of my seniors, like, Matthew, I came to you because I didn't want to look like this before even anything. So now you recreate on young people, just because you're recreating that time, that era, you know. Yeah, because even our seniors don't want
because it's novelty for us.
That's novelty, yeah. Especially your generation, yeah.
You've already gone through this and like, what's the interest?
Yeah, if you haven't done it and you see yourself, you're like, oh my god, that's so cool. That's why we're doing it, yeah. So that's not bad with the blowout kind of thing, but we can do better. So I'll show you what we have so far. Next stage.
Oh wow, man!
It's fun, eh?
I didn't know that you can style short hair that much. It's
fun. Yeah.
Ah, look at that.
Yeah, you look like that diva. You look like married to the mob a little bit. And then you gotta smoke cigarettes with a haircut like that.
Absolutely.
Like those big old fat cigarettes. Like, they don't even make those kind of cigarettes anymore. Yeah. I need a curling iron. I have one somewhere.
Oh man, it's so big. It's just so far from my scalp.
Okay?
It's so far from my scalp. It's so fun.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Let that warm up.
Cool.
One. It was also years ago. I had a mom and her daughter used to come to me for hair, right? Mm-hmm. And the mom was conservative. This is a while ago, so this is that generation. So she was this short sides and back, just long enough on top to get a curling iron through it. So that's like that. So you just like go whoop in the top real quick. Very conservative look. And she works in a school, and you know, she's just very conservative look. Her daughter's like 19 years old. She's really pretty, long blonde hair. You know, like very modern girl. So this would be about 20 years ago now, I guess. So early 2000s. So she meets this boy. She's a host in a restaurant. And this guy, he was in his 20s as well, but he was from the US, so he traveled up to Toronto on business. Mm-hmm. And he spent a little too much money in that restaurant because he liked her. So like, oh, he comes for He comes here a lot. Every time he's in town, he goes there too much. He likes her.
Yeah.
And so after months of it, he back to the U.S. flies in, and he likes her. Working up the nerve to ask her out. So when eventually asks her out, he really likes her. And so she's doing her, and she's telling me with this guy, a few visits go on and stuff like that. Gets serious, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now he's inviting her, because he's from the U.S. Midwest. They're a bit conservative too. So they're inviting her to, he's inviting her to go meet his family. So she comes in for her hair that day, and I says, what are we doing? And she goes, what would you think if I cut my hair like my mom's? I'm like, why would you?
Yeah.
She goes, because I'm going to go meet his family, and I want to look like,
Like an old woman?
No, she wants to impress them.
Yeah.
Like, I go, why don't we just do it like this is at the time? Why don't we do a graduation bob to start with, because that was part of the time.
Yeah.
And if you want to go shorter, we can talk. We can consider it. So she goes, okay. So we did the graduation bob. We did the highlights on her. We did the graduation bob on her, and she ended up loving it. Anyhow, so she goes and meets them. They loved her anyway. She kept that bob for a year. But when I did her mom's hair, I told her, I said, when she comes for her hair, she goes, oh my God, I love that haircut so much on my daughter. I said, do you know she asked for your haircut? She goes, no. She goes, what do you think I got my mom's haircut? She said, no, I didn't know that. I said, probably that's how much she admires you. She wanted to impress his family, and she had you in mind.
That's so...
And I didn't do it because that's a severe look on a 19-year-old girl.
Yeah.
But it's not where her brains was. That's not where her mind was at. The image of it. I gave her something that was going to work. The boyfriend loved it. Her friend, and they loved her anyway. She could have done a haircut. And they would have loved her anyway.
Yeah.
The boyfriend would have been like, "That's different." And also, like the whole saying, like, your wife turns into their mother eventually.
Yeah.
She's 19 and she got her mom's haircut. So I don't know. It worked out fine in the end. But it would have been a little bit shorter than this, because their mom was like clipper sides and back just long enough on top to get a curling iron through it. So it would have even been shorter than this. And those curls were tight. And then blast of hairspray like a rock. And that was her look. But her mom was really sweet though. Like, she wasn't old school hardcore conservative.
Yeah.
She was just really sweet, but that was her image.
Yeah.
Her mom would be, because it's 20 years ago, so her mom would have been maybe in her 50s then, 55, say, so 65, so she'd be 75 now, let's say. Her daughter was 19 then, so 29, 30, so she'd be 30. So I imagine that girl's got kids and stuff and living somewhere in the US, if it worked out.
Yeah.
That's the thing about being hairdressers, you don't necessarily...
There's no follow-up.
No, well, now we got Facebook, but back then we didn't,
Yeah.
so there's no follow-up. Yeah, exactly. But some of my clients, even from 20, 30 years ago, we found each other on Facebook, even though we've been apart for so long. So you do get some follow-up. They're like, oh, you're the best hairdresser. And, they look for a friend request. And, oh, you're in New Zealand. No, why are you in New Zealand? Especially now more than ever. Anyone want to come see me in New Zealand? We're just a 14-hour flight and a 14-day quarantine away.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah. How much is that going to cost you?
Exactly. The quarantine's what, $5,000?
Yeah, something like that.
Worth it. But you and I are mask-free during COVID.
Absolutely.
Because Wellington is mask-free during COVID, unless you're on a bus. Yeah. But
not even
the
now.
hair salons, we never had a mask order in this hair salon from the government. Ever. It goes to show. And I feel bad because, the world is struggle, but we did what we did in the beginning to open up our economy and to regain our freedoms. And you and I are mask free today, where they're restricted. There's second wave at the moment around the world. We're mask free. I'm doing your hair. My staff has never been required to wear a mask.
And we're even gonna get vaccinated for free.
Yeah, of course. It's crazy, eh?
Yeah.
So we can make these videos like this.
Absolutely.
And the world's locked down.
Oh man, this is so much work.
Yeah,
So much fun.
Yeah. And it's not that we're COVIDiots. It's been 10 months since there's been a COVID case in our city. 10 months was the last case. It's not here. Crazy. They're smart.
Right now, Jacinda, what can I say?
Yeah, it's Jacinda. Auntie Jacinda.
Auntie Jacinda.
Thank you, Auntie Jacinda.
Yeah.
Well, it's not Auntie Jacinda. We all did it.
Yeah.
It's a team of,
The team of 5 million. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we all did it. It wasn't her. She just gave the advisement to the people, and the people heeded her advice. Because the people could have overthrown her if they had an issue with it. They didn't. They compliance. But it was also because the information was,
Yeah, the way it was
transparent.
delivered, and the transparency she transmits, and
Yeah.
also like the team of 5 million. That's a smart campaign. It's
Yeah.
a smart way to make everyone feel reliable.
Yeah. You're gonna go out tonight with hair like this.
We're gonna have to go modern.
No, I watched it out. We go modern. Yeah, no, I know. We go modern.
Don't leave me.
Don't let me go like this. No, we'll go modern.
I won't be able to feel my pillow.
No, we'll go modern.
I feel taller, man. This is insane.
Yeah.
Well, really, mousse does magic. I've never seen my hair
No.
be shaped into anything.
Yeah.
It's just so straight. And this mousse is doing magic.
Yeah. I love that you work in construction.
Absolutely.
This is your chance to be dolled up.
Yeah.
Because this head is under a helmet.
I bike to work,
Yeah.
so my whole day is helmet bike and then work helmet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But a woman, you have to have your woman.
moments. Yeah.
This is your woman moment.
Yeah, now that I stopped traveling and that I settled in Wellington,
Yeah.
I got to do some, up shopping and get some clothes and,
Yeah.
get some dresses and stuff that I haven't been wearing in a while because I was camping all the time or working. So, there's no room for skirts and dresses in that world.
Yeah.
So, I like to get in touch with my inner girl.
Yeah, of course. Otherwise, those men will male dominant. Well, there's a few girls, but it's still male dominant.
Absolutely,
Those
yeah.
construction.
Yeah.
Same with that engine factory. We're male dominant.
Yeah. Yeah, and they make you pay for it.
They what?
They make you pay for it.
Well, some of it's just there could be immaturity at the root of it. I'd seen immaturity too in that old engine factory. A few girls, and then they get a bit intimidated too. And then you got some guys in there that are biker gang guys as well.
Mm.
And they work in, they can be manipulative and I remember working at an engine factory. They used to make there's a Chrysler engine, a Dodge engine. It's called a Henry engine.
Mm-hmm.
I know you know the only one engines, but it's a big old muscle car engine. Like the old TV show Dukes of Hazzard with the
Yeah.
jumping.
Yeah.
It's the engine they would put in that car. So this engine factory used to make 4 new Hemi, not the new Hemi, the old 1960s Hemi, but it was the original cast and everything like that. But it was a brand new made engine, but from the 60s era of that engine for a day. So we do our audit, and what happened was there was you go through the parts. There was an engine missing.
Oh,
They didn't
shit.
steal an engine. What they did was in their duffel bag, they would take one part at a time every day home. So this day you took this part, this day. So over a period of a few months, there was a total of one Hemi engine missing, but it wasn't all. Not like they took a Hemi, it's too heavy, you can't do that. But you can have a duffel bag and go home, and there's a new part in there every day. So somebody in their garage
Just
built
make
a
it-
Hemi,
yeah.
and that Hemi, we used to sell that to Mopar for 20,000, and then they'd mark it up from there. So it's probably 60,000 by the time they do their markup and their costs and what. I think it was like a $55,000 US engine, but we used to sell to them for 20,000. So someone that's smart.
Yeah.
And then we do the
That's
you
like
know
calculated.
we do the inventory. It's like we all got it right off the bat, but you're not gonna figure it out.
No.
So funny.
That's a long-term investment.
Oh yeah, yep. And no, you'll never figure that out. It's pretty funny. Here like this, you're gonna have a new title, El Presidente,
Yeah.
the woman of the people.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so tall.
And remember, this is a one-off. You'll probably never do it ever again.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
No. Yeah, you look like you're married to the mob. Like those old gangster movies, like Scarface or whatever. Not Scarface. What is that one? Goodfellas. Goodfellas. You see the girls, the wives in that movie? God, this is that type of hair that they have. Or Mama, the Italian Mama, with
Oh
this
my
hair.
god, this makes me feel like I need to be in the kitchen.
Yeah? That's perfect. As far as this kind of hairstyle goes, I
Yeah.
nailed this one.
Absolutely. It's a transformation.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I'll find that before picture when your hair was long.
Oh,
And then we'll do the
25.
comparison to this.
Oh, look at that texture. It's insane.
It's so cool. It's
yeah.
so cool. Now wait till
You got
very
wavy
slowly
and
with your hands,
everything.
just do this. Don't put your fingers in it, just touch it.
Oh my god, it's rock solid.
Yeah.
It's a helmet. I've got a new helmet.
Isn't that fun?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Look at how wavy it looks.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, how can you do that with my hair? Like, it's not possible.
Yeah. I think it's better than that one, to be honest. We'll do the comparison. It turned out better. That's just more styled, hairbrush style with the
Yeah.
hair dryer, because I went in with the curling iron, and it's just next level.
Yeah, hers
Yeah.
looks flatter.
Yeah.
This one just went.
And of course, your hair and this hair are not entirely identical anyway, but I'm happy with this result because to me it's more like the good fella bride, the mafioso wives' hair.
Yeah.
Which I love. Those old gangster movies. That's what I think of. That's that's awesome.
I feel like I'm ready to film a movie.
Yeah? You want to be in my movie? There you go. You're in my movie. Cool. Let's do some
So fun.
shots, some after
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah, I need to see that. Oh my god, I look like a woman.
Well, you are a woman.
What's happening?
You are a woman.
Oh my god, they got aged 30 years just with the hair.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I don't know, dude.
Enjoy.
Oh my god,
We can wash it out anytime.
that's so crazy.
Enjoy it while you can. Let me know when you're ready to wash it out.
Okay.
Because once I wash it, it's gone.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. But you want to go out tonight with it? It's not a big deal.
Oh. No, I have
No.
a dinner. I like to look normal.
I know. That's fine. That's fine.
It's fun to dress up, but I really like. I feel
No, I
like
know.
I'm old now.
Yeah. That's fine.
Like I can't imagine this with like my jeans and t-shirt. Like just
Yeah.
goes with the dress.
Yeah. No, you'd have to dress the whole part.
Yeah.
But yeah, you look like a theater production, not yeah, not yourself.
Now I totally understand that move that they always do, like in movies, kind of
Hey?
like that move that they always do, kind of movies, touching the hair like that. Now I understand it. Like I
Understand,
feel
yeah.
like touching my hair like that, just
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. You can really go in there now because we're not keeping this obviously,
Yeah.
so you can really go in there with your fingers now if you want to. But notice how it just bounces right back anyway.
Yeah.
Like that's bulletproof. Like that Wellington Wing can get at that, and it would just go right back into place again anyway.
Yeah, man, but it's I want to see again when
Mucho pelo.
like when you get the film. I want to see like how it was like with the
Yeah,
haircut,
of
but
course.
before styling it because
Yeah.
it was just so flat, and
We'll,
now like
we'll watch it after before you go. Yeah. But look at that. I'm running my fingers through it.
yeah.
And that's bouncing all back and shit. Ooh. Yeah, it'll be a second. That's yours.
Oh yeah, that's mine. Yeah.
Might do something. Oh yeah, that'll be go. So we're ready to lose it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Come
know
with
too.
me. Let's get rid of it.
30 years needs to go by.
Yeah. Come on over. Yeah.
Here.
Should be fine.
Oh, now I feel small.
That's so funny. Now we can go modern. I'll go this way. This one has the arms in it. You can put your arms through.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going
Yeah.
full modern.
Yep. Because you know why those arms are there? Because this is the iPhone generation. Because you put that on a client and they're like, phone. So we put arms in them so that you. Because when's the first thing you put a cable on somebody? They're going to put their arms out so they can do their phones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're
That's
entering
us.
back to the one. We came out of the time warp. So what do you want to do with the cut now that we're doing modern? Do you want it clipper size and back like before? Or are you cool with the length it is now? You want to just keep the haircut this is? And
No, I want to trim
Shorter.
it more. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it grows so faster.
No, I know. So we're gonna
Yeah.
do.
So-
We're gonna take the clippers to it.
Yeah.
But that was the thing back then. They didn't use really clippers so much. They were the cutting I did was what they did, and the styling was more what they did. Today, girls love clippers, like shaving size and back, tight lines, longer on top.
Mm.
And they weren't really guys got clippers in the barbershop, and girls went to hairdressers and got haircuts. Now. Girls love long hair, and then the girls who go short, they do like clippers a lot.
I think that like my favorite look is like 2 weeks after we do
Yeah.
it very short, 2
Yeah.
or 3 weeks after. That's when I get
It
to the
starts to
point
settle
where
in.
I'm-
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool.
Which basically would be like this length probably, but
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want to be coming here every 2 weeks. So
No, I know. It's a haircut meant to last, because people have busy lives. So you want to go in there, right in there, right?
yeah. And also, like this is an experience that I think guys have had all their lives.
Yeah.
For me, like feeling the clippers in my head is just so
It's
new.
still
that
probably pretty new for you, even though we've been doing short hair with you for a while.
Yeah.
But you're Latina, and Latinas are not really supposed to be doing this kind of stuff with their hair. In your traditional country. But you're no longer in South America.
No, man, I'm a long way.
Yeah. Well, I'm not in Kansas anymore. And your mom seems to be cool with it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Some Latina moms don't like it when their daughters move to a place like this and cut their hair short.
Yeah.
Latina moms cry. They're like, how am I ever going to have a grandchild when my daughter looks like a lesbian? Which isn't true. You don't look like a lesbian. It's just what the Latina mom's thinking.
Of course.
Because Latina moms only think about their grandkids or having grandkids.
Yeah.
Your kids wander off around the world and do adventures like, just settle down and not make grandkids for me.
I like to joke that I look like a lesbian though.
Do you? That's fine. Most lesbians is that you go on those pages with, their YouTube channels or whatever.
Yeah.
They're all like hair shoulder length and whatnot. Because, that's a whole 90s stereotype, lesbians with short hair. But not really
I'm not
anymore.
doing this anymore.
I think lesbians are more likely to spend money on tattoos and piercings over haircuts. They do cool stuff with their hair, but they're not like short hair like it was, But I think anyone in general, there are some, people with short hair regardless of sexuality. Same with long hair. But you're seeing it's a different trend going on.
Oh, I got this crazy one.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll get there. We'll get there with the trimmers later.
Beautiful. Yeah, and I'm not over how it feels when you do the clippers, but also how it feels then when I touch it. Oh,
it feels good, eh?
Yeah, I'm not over that yet.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's why the other part of the last haircut, it wasn't short enough sides and back for you. Well, that was because traditional hair kind of.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go too long hair.
No.
I don't think I'm gonna go back.
No.
That girl that was here before,
Yeah.
oh my god, such a positive change. Yeah.
She totally embraced the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even the retro blow dry.
Yeah.
She loved that.
Yeah, and she has such a pretty face,
She does, yeah. But like we were talking about with her, she just had a bad haircut when she was 15, and
Yeah.
it's like, I can't do this stuff again. And then now you're 18, you're now a woman. You can do stuff to your hair. You're a woman. Don't be afraid of something you had as
You'll survive.
Yeah, well, you get hooked on that. Like, oh, it was the worst thing ever, and I can never do that again. No, you can. You can go back. It's just that there was nothing wrong with shorter length on her. It's just that was a bad haircut. But then you go back to that sort of length again with a good haircut, and that's what happened with her. She's like, I love this. It's just because when she went that short when she was 15, it was a bad haircut.
Yeah.
And she thought she could never do that again, and then you go back to it now, years later, and she's like, oh. It is amazing, but she wanted that amazing haircut then.
Yeah.
And just she didn't go to the right place.
I just hope that the people who do that at least know that it was bad.
There's no explanation. There's just so much in this world.
You can fuck up, of course, but if you think it looks good, that's just you're gonna keep doing ugly shit like that. So
some people are not gonna like the things I do.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, He just keeps doing all those weird retro things, and some are like, oh my god, no, I don't know. It's just people like with it. Well, we'll go back to the Ford, General Motors, Chrysler. Why does one like this over this over this over this? I have no idea why. It's the same with anything else in the world. Like hairdressers were commodity too. Why does one like me over the one down the road or the one over there or that one, and they go down and they go like, oh, this one, oh no, you don't want to go that one, and then like, oh no, this is the one you want to go to. Like, swear to God, you don't want to go anywhere else. No rhyme or reason. But if we were all conformists, then when we drive to work every day, we'd have the same freaking model car in the same color. But when you're driving, how many different car models, how many different car colors, how many different, like even my, by this year color car, but someone else has the same car but different color, you know? This people like this, and they like this, and they like this, and they swear by it, and then they slander that. I don't know. And me, I'm a hairdresser, I'm a commodity as well, I accept that. Some people are going to be like, you know, what a difference you made in my life. Some are like, oh, that stuff you do, I don't get it. But that's fine. Like
yeah, you know what's different, because that's a concept. You know, you might not like the concept, but at least it's something intentional. You know, you want to imitate 80s looks, you do that successfully. Like, it looks very similar. You can do that. If you like it or not, that's another thing. But it's very understandable that it's a concept. Now, when you go in and say like, "Hey, I want my hair like this and that," and they kind of do that, and then you live with a shitty haircut. It's not a question of like liking it or not. It's just you are like poorly executing something. And I hope that at least that person knows that, so that it can get better. They just think like, oh yeah, like.
But the stuff I'm doing with this project doesn't represent my paying customers all week long either, because I'm doing, you know, that's regular hairdresser stuff. This stuff I do on the side. Yeah. So no, like all this retro stuff. That's not.
Man, that's magic. That's
it's magic. Just we're exploring this stuff. Someone watches this like, oh, I'm not going there. He's going to give me something retro. No, none of my clients get these haircuts. This is the after hours. This is the after hours
playground.
Yeah, this is the after hours fun. Like 80% of what you do is you know, and this is the extra stuff you get to do on the side for fun.
Yeah, it's good to allow time for that also.
You can see how that's starting to soften. It needs a little more work, but you can see how that's starting to transform. Two completely different haircuts. Not too much different. Like, do you want the fringe shorter? Do you like that length of that, or that shorter?
I don't like how bulky it is and how like
bulky. So,
geometrical it got. So just like get it a little bit out of shape.
Yeah. Let's soften that. A little more over here. Not soften that up a lot. We'll go through with the issues as well.
Yeah.
And you just push it forward and over. You don't do anything with your. Do you even use styling products? No.
Use what?
Do you have a styling clay or anything? Did I ever saw you a clay?
I have a little bit of clay, and I maybe use some on the weekends.
That's fine, just for weekends and stuff. Yeah, you day to day. You don't want any product in here.
No.
But
not when I'm wearing a helmet.
No. But for weekends and stuff, yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. You did the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just push it forward and over after the shower, and don't have to brush it or anything.
Yeah, no, I just
Yeah,
use a
that's
towel and
exactly
that's
it.
it.
That's
Yeah.
exactly. Amazing how much the street becomes alive at night because
Yeah, of the student residents.
the university kids out.
Mm.
Yeah, and there's no restriction either. They're all partying. All the clubs are open tonight. No restriction.
New Zealand.
Yeah, welcome to New Zealand. Good to be here. And I won't go. Even though I can, doesn't mean I want to. That feels better?
Yeah.
I'll show you
Oh,
mirror
that's
sides and
better.
back. Because your sides and back are cranked tighter with the clippers. That's for your look anyway.
Yeah.
That's good?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pick some clay for tonight.
Oh yeah, that'd be lovely.
Yep, give me a second.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
How quick and easy is that compared to all that work I put into another one? It's like,
Absolutely.
there you go, that looks amazing. Yeah, because this is smartphone generation, like we have time to do what they used to do back then. To be honest, I prefer the look of this anyway. I prefer the modern looks anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that smells so nice.
Isn't that fun? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll show you that one more time.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's excellent.
Yep. And you got to do a cheers. Let's do a cheers.
Cheers.
Enjoy your evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Ah, back to the present.
Yep.